What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Burn It Down with Kim Brown. This is a place where we really scream and cry and yell and choose violence in a variety of ways for a variety of reasons, but it's all legitimate and righteous. So there's that. Apologies for the delay, everybody. To call it a technical delay, it may not be accurate. Me and Will was just trying to make sure we had our media ducks in a row, make sure we got everything lined up, ordered chronologically and all that. So just trying to tighten up the presentation a little bit just before we get started. So we want to thank and welcome everybody to the show, to the good program. Thank y'all for joining us today. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and engage with the content. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. Appreciate everybody that does that. We've got some new emoji sticker offerings for our channel members in the chat. So Molly added a slew of those. So peruse those at your leisure and make selections as you see fit. And Molly told me to tell y'all that we are only 11 channel members away from something. now, now, what the something is, I think is more sticker emojis, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. So if you want to join the channel, support us in that way, you can do so for the low of $2 a month. Same thing goes on Patreon, patreon.com/BIDWKB. There is some channel only and Patreon only content available. I need to make more. I'm not in dispute of that. And I will get on that. But in the interim, if you just want to support Black woman-led independent media, please consider doing so here via Super Chat, or you can follow us at our cash platforms, BIDWKB, on Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal as well. I'm in the chat, and you ends and non-ends is in trouble. Y'all is in trouble because I'm about to be in this chat. Come on in here, kids. Thank y'all so much for supporting the thing and showing up to the thing. What's up, Twitter? At Burn It Down KB on Twitter. You know, the silent minority over there. For our 2 people watching us on Facebook, salute. To the 5 people watching us on Twitch, at BIDWKB on Twitch. Thank y'all, Twitchers. And we got something nice coming up for y'all on tomorrow for Kim's Twitch turn up for Wednesday. I'm going to talk about that coming up here in a little bit. I'm not exactly clear what genre I'm going into on tomorrow. I really did enjoy doing those Jay-Z samples. I'm like, ooh, I should do another samples playlist. That would be tight. But then something tells me, I'm like, I think I need to educate y'all on 80s hair bands. The education you didn't know you needed on the 80s hair bands. I bet you didn't take me for a motherfucking 80s hair bands aficionado. You would be wrong. You would be wrong. As if I didn't have, I believe, 3 Poison cassettes. I absolutely had Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. Don't play games with the goddess out here. You know I had Appetite for Destruction. You know I had motherfucking Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. You niggas ain't ready. Y'all niggas ain't ready for Reggie. So maybe we'll do 80s hair bands. Abby, Learn Life Abby. Who's with me? Who's with me? Who wants to hear some Slaughter? Who wants to hear some Cinderella? Who wants to hear some Skid Row? Oh, y'all not ready. Y'all don't know what I got all up in here. I got it. 20th century, fuck with me. 21st century, leave me out of that shit. that is 21st century music is young folks' business. I ain't got shit to do with that. But anyway, hold on. Let me shut up. Let me get into the chat. Let me say what's up before I get rolling here. Come on in here. Hey, nigglets, I need 100 likes on the video, please and thank you. So be sure to let them fingers do the liking. What's up, Wendy? Thank you so much for coming true. Being in the building. Shout out to Latif, one of our mods, our illustrious mods. Shout out to Courtney, the SLP. What's up to my son, Tyler? Peace to Swery. Motherfucking hold up. Wait a minute, y'all. I think that say two F's. I think that say two F's. Y'all know Franny Francais in the building. Stand up, buck, buck, buck. Afra Sangs in the building. Wait, that says afraid not. But shout out to Afra Sangs also. But shout out to Don Bird. Afraid not. Shout out to my nieces and my nephews. My niece Alicia, Valley Girls, my nephew Dawn Hammond. Youngsters, announce yourself. You too can be a niece or a nephew of the Fire Fam. I'm your auntie. I'm your internet auntie. I am your weed smoking, child free internet auntie. You know me. I'm here to collect my nibblings, my nieces and nephews. What's up, Ascribe? God bless. Come through. What's up, Chichi Macha? Yo, the folks coming in here. Love that. I'm love to see it. 40J Blaze, come on through. Okay, so Will, this is what I want you to do, Will. I want you to be ready to drop the link in the jump, okay? Because let me get started here. And I don't really have like a formal show put together per se. You know why? Because our discussion this morning from the Remix Morning Show on BPM, that shit kept rolling around in my head, rattling around in my brain. And in particular, Zenzi Bell's words stuck with me. If you have not watched today's Remix Morning Show on Black Power Media, period, y'all should go over there and watch that. Go watch that, but don't go watch it now. Goddamn it, go watch that shit later. But we have begun to, I guess, give an update. Jesus, the of the most prolific undoing of anybody, maybe ever. Because all right, so it started out. We talked about Diddy having additional lawsuits against him, but then we started to branch the conversation out more because again, y'all, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown. This thing is bigger than fucking Sean Combs. Like Diddy is the catalyst for the conversation, but Diddy is not the problem. He is an example, a symptom um of a broader kind of issue. And I appreciate the receptiveness I received from Jared and Ear Doctor this morning because you guys, and if you saw the conversation, you know what I'm talking about. You know, when asked in regards to known abusers, the brovs balked at first that they said they didn't know, but the more they thought about it, yeah, they did know. And not to say again, not to say they were in close community, close contact, but even acquaintances or co-workers in that sense. And this is over the course of a lifetime. You know, I know we think we young folks out here. But you know, we got 25 and 30 years into adulthood. You feel me? So over the course of all of that, you know, without question, all of us have been touched in some way. And in some ways, as the bruvs also related, that on the receiving end of abuse from women. So I think that there is a larger conversation to be had here. But when I was listening to Zenzi Bell and she asked, you know, what is your role? Like what role do you play in allowing or fostering for abuse in your spaces or in your communities? And I heard her on that because do I know of that I'm aware of makes or make excuses for any abusers? I don't. But what I do wrongly, truthfully wrongly, on my platform here, when I talk about this issue, I'm talking about it from my lived experience and not from a position of any expertise. And I think that is where I fail here. I fall flat on the conversation because simply just because I've lived it and I've experienced it numerous times, it doesn't make me an expert. Okay. And who are the experts? Who is an expert on talking about abuse or domestic violence? Well, I think we should defer firstly to the mental health professionals, of which there are lots, but those people are also trained and educated not only with advanced education, but thousands of hours of clinical experience. So I have no expectation that I could be able to spit back to my audience a lot of the clinical terms and a lot of the descriptions of certain behaviors that abusers tend to exhibit. But what I so let me apologize for that. First of all, let me apologize for that. Well, let me say this. I don't apologize for speaking about these issues, and I don't apologize for speaking about them with emotion, with passion, and with fire because they mean a lot to me. My end goal. What is my goal here? Why do I even bring this shit up? My goal here, y'all. Honestly, I want the extreme parts of what abuse can bring to end. Ultimately, I want people to stop being killed by their abusers or being killed just for being a woman, right? And we see this a lot. And we're going to play an example. I have some examples here that I want to play. Um so that's ultimately what I want to happen. If I can lend my voice to help hopefully bring an end to the fatalities that abuse can bring. That is my goal here. But as Enzi Bell clearly articulated to us, and I think most of us know this, that abuse is on a spectrum, it's on a continuum, right? Some abuse never ever turns physical. It's all mental, it's all emotional, it's all financial. It manifests itself in different ways. It's not always physical. So I think like the epiphany that I had, I'm like, you have to learn more about this, Kim. Like, if you're gonna be up here, rah, if you're gonna be up here, rah, 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 you're gonna have to have something else. Rah, rah, rah. You dig? So let me put this out to the Fire Fam, to our viewers here. This is my commitment. I'm going to learn the specifics, the integralness, and I'm not just talking about stats and such, because anyone that is going to, and again, first of all, let me say this: statistics are out there, but anyone that's going to dismiss or outright say that gender-based violence from male to female is not what people say it is, let's check the stats. You don't want to check them stats though, because the stats are going to back up who is on the giving and who is on the receiving end of abuse most of the time. Okay, so this is not about statistics, rather it's about trying to identify patterns of behavior, to identify characteristics and what they mean. And I know a lot of you are probably already versed in some way in this. We have folks here that are social workers, that are psychologists, that are psychiatrists, that have worked in clinical settings, that have dealt hands-on with abuse survivors and victims. So I know we've got some learned doctors and as well, or some, so you understand what I mean, some very learned folks about this. And then there's folks like me that is, unpacking some of the things that we've experienced. And let me say this also: some of you have communicated to me that you appreciate my openness about some of the things that I have experienced. And I want y'all to just to be clear, like, that is new. And when I say new, meaning me sharing on a microphone, some of the shit that I've lived through. When I say it's new, I mean new as in as the birth of this platform. Many of the things that you guys have heard me say, I have never before said before we had BIDWKB. I just dealt with that shit. I just ate that shit. I just powered through that shit. You know what I'm saying? And on some level, I'm still doing that, except now I'm just not silent about it. You know what I mean? Because I have no idea. I don't know what people think when they look at me. I don't know what they think I am or what I come from. But let me, if it's wrong, let me dispel it. You know what I mean? Let me put my shit out there so y'all know. Like, I'm not just talking on my ass out here. I have lived through the shit, but simply living through it does not make me an expertise. Maybe it doesn't even make me qualified to talk about it. It does make me qualified to be against it and to try to ask for accountability. But I can't ask for accountability if I'm not willing to hold myself accountable. And here is the ways I'm willing to hold myself accountable. I need to learn more about this. It's just it's not enough that I survived it, and it's not enough that I'm against it. So as much as I'm putting out challenges to others, which I listen, I cannot wait to watch the Friday episode of Earn Your Liberation on BPM Friday. If you didn't hear, Jared said that FD Signifier, where they're going to be talking about the FD Signifier episode regarding the new Kevin Samuels as part of the Black Manosphere. I'm not familiar with the episode. I'm going to watch that myself prior to watching this Friday's EYO. But I want to say, like, thank you to Jared. Thank you to Ear Doctor. Thank you guys for listening to what I said and not pushing back or getting defensive and opening themselves up to really being receptive. And not to say they hadn't been before. I know they have been before, but today I felt like there was a breakthrough, and I had a breakthrough. Like, I also experienced a breakthrough today. So I'm not just challenging others to be more accountable. Let me hold myself accountable here. You know what I mean? So anyway, so there's that. But like, so I wanted us to look at some things. And again, shout out to our folks who have studied, intimate partner relationships, who study, gender roles and all the things. Like, I appreciate that. And speak up, pipe up. Your expertise is welcome here, especially in the chat. So I want us to run through a couple videos of shit that I see on social media. But the reason it resonates and the reason why these things get thousands of likes and millions and hundreds of thousands of views is because they resonate with folks, right? And I see a lot more, especially younger women. And let me say this also. I mean, this is just the shit I have to say on here is really for everybody. But really, I swear to God, when I talk about abuse specifically, I really want to reach young men and women. Like, I want us to get a hold of these patterns, and I want people to be able to read signs way sooner. You know what I mean? If we can get the kids on track when they late teens, early 20s, show, hey, that adulthood's gonna go a lot easier. So anyway, so these different scenarios in which younger women in particular are posting, be it conflicts in their relationship, be it, street harassment. I appreciate this. As much as I do not like social media, because I think it's turning everybody into digital dope fiends in some way or another. But I appreciate the commonality and the ability, the accessibility, the availability for people to broadcast their experiences in real time. And in some ways, you can question the reasons. Are they doing it for attention? Are they doing it for clicks and likes? Yeah, maybe in some cases they are. But I think in a lot of instances, women in particular are posting their experiences with men online for validation because they get gaslit a lot. Like, oh, you crazy. Like, why did you let that man do blah, blah, blah. Like, women get gaslit a lot in terms of why men respond to them or react to them in certain ways, as if, and I want us to play this first clip as a good example of that. Because I think a lot of women will recognize this, and even brothers will recognize it. Now, brothers, because apparently I have to put out fucking disclaimers because and let me be clear, I'm not talking about my BPM bruvs. I am talking about some of the bruvs in the BPM chat though. And I do mean a minimal amount of it be some hit dogs hollering over there in that chat. Okay, because I told y'all I really resent the fact being made to feel as though I have to put disclaimers out when I'm talking about bad man behavior. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to couch that shit is, well, when some brothers or the abusive brothers or the bad brothers, because I think that should go without saying as to who the fuck I'm talking about. Like, if I have to couch it in disclaimers every time, then that means I'm trying to account for hurt feelings. And to be honest, no. if your feelings are hurt by anything that I'm saying, then you need to re-examine your life and your behavior. That don't have shit to do with me. That don't have shit to do with me. I don't like doing that, and I don't like being made to feel. And let me be very specific here. My BPM brubs have never. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about niggas in the chat. Okay, not in this chat, by the way, because my niggas over here, shit. My brubs. Oh no. My brubs already know I'm not fucking talking to them. 40 J Blaze, am I talking to you? Lateef, am I talking to you? Motherfucker, James and this motherfucker. James, am I talking to you? You niggas already know I am not talking to y'all. And I don't even mean to highlight y'all specifically, and I highlight them specifically because I know that they know that I know that they know that I'm not talking about them. That's why I said them specifically. So that's not, I'm not trying to put my brothers out there, but you understand. I did that shit for anyway. Let's get to the clip. And ladies, speak up if this shit look familiar. Let's take a look.
You girls, ain't I can tell. You think you too good to talk to me or something? Cause you got some real pretty skin. I mean, I get your hair did. I see you had that little hat on. Your man ain't getting your hair did. That's what it is. Cause messing with a dude like me.
You just want to bother somebody today.
I mean, you missing your blessing. I'm trying to help you out. I mean, I get your hair did, your nails did, get you some lashes.
I already told you
I
no
can tell
thank
you
you.
bad after.
No thank you. No thank you.
I mean, listen. I'm a man that I know what I want. You play hard to get all you want, but I know you want me. I want you too. Come on, child. Stop playing hard to get. Just take my number down. I promise you. Just let me text you. I'll get your hair did tomorrow.
No. I'm fine.
Just let me get your hair did.
No, I said no.
What's the big issue? You think you better than me or something? You think you too good to talk to me?
You can have a seat and wait. That's what you can do.
Listen. You know what? Never mind. You ain't doing all that. No way.
You don't want me.
How many times have you just been minding your business? And trust me, this is what I love about getting old. Oh, shout out to all my old bitches. Isn't it wonderful being old? Oh, I love being old. Yeah, I mean, I do turn heads. Don't get it fucked up. but I guess I got that old lady don't bother me mean mug on my face. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that shit anymore. But I did used to when I was young. Ooh, it's so sad to see the young ladies still get involved at work. She asked the gentleman to please have a seat. He told her she about to miss her blessing. Jesus. Rejection, everybody. It is a concern, a honestly life or death concern sometimes for women in certain situations, because this is why we as women will sometimes use the general use men's, because we don't know who is who. We don't know which man is going to take this rejection correctly and who is going to have a bad reaction to said rejection. And you heard the young lady in that particular clip. And again, that clip encompasses on the low end, right? That's not even street harassment. I don't even know what the fuck to call that. Random nigga harassment. I mean, they wasn't even on the street, but she's still getting harassed by random niggas. So, but you don't know in which way the man is going to take that no, and whether or not he is even going to take the no. Is he going to be like okay and walk away, have a nice day? Okay, have a nice day. Is he going to take the high road, or is he going to berate you? Is he going to insult you? Is he going to be waiting for you after work in the parking lot? Like, these are the kinds of scenarios that women not only worry about, we worry about them for legitimate reasons, because either we ourselves have experienced them directly, or people we know have experienced them, or the shit that we see on the news, people experience it. Like, to think that rejecting a strange man is a safe exercise is folly, and women know that, and I want men to know that. Okay, when we're communicating in these spaces about abuse and in all of that, it kind of begins in the opening salvos of the interactions and the introductions, if there is an introduction, right? And to be clear, a woman, or anybody for that matter, has a right to say no, and say that you not necessarily what she's looking for. And to be clear, nobody should take that kind of rejection personally. People can say no for all kinds of reasons. They don't feel like talking. Maybe she didn't brush her teeth that day. maybe she didn't feel like having a conversation. Maybe she feel, but regardless of the reason, her choice needs to be respected in the moment, okay? And this is one of those scenarios that I think that the overwhelming likelihood for a situation to go left um comes in these man pursuing woman dynamics. Because, be honest, and I'm looking for the honesty, I'm gonna get in the chat to see if y'all telling the truth. To be honest, Like, when gentlemen, when have you had this happen? When has a woman approached you in any scenario on the street, at your job? I don't know. If you have a front facing job where you deal with the public and they've encountered you, spoken to you, try to kick a little game to you, get your number. And you might say no for whatever reason, which you are totally entitled to do. And the woman would be like, well, you ain't all that. Oh yeah, well, you missing your blessing. Oh, what, you think you too good for me? I mean, I'm sure. I'm not saying that never happens. Sometimes when we're having this discussion, I think it's important to talk about proportionality, because it's not, I'm saying that men always and women never. That's not it. But is it men 85 to 90%? Yeah. Is it women 10%? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The proportionality here is would be fucking me up, because it's just not proportionate. It's not proportionate. The hurt feelings and rejection and all that shit come out different via gender. But again, like I said, I like expertise. I'm going to try to educate myself and do better. In the interim, we're going to run these videos. So that's one, that's the low level. And I don't even know if I would call that abuse. Maybe that's just inappropriate behavior. That's inability. I can't say inability to read cues, because she was flatly, explicitly, nicely telling him no, and he didn't give her. He kept on. He heard her say no, and he kept on. Why? Bitch, because your opinion ain't that valuable. You don't know what you want out here. I'm your blessing. I can get your hair done. You want your nails and lashes did, bitch? You don't even know what you missing. You know why? Because you bitches don't know better. Y'all don't know what's good for you. That's why you need a man to get you togethers. All right, well, hold on. I'm not done. So I found this brother. Will, and after we run the clip, I want you to come tell me what the brother's name is, because god damn it, that TikTok font be really small and I don't dig it. So there's a brother I found on TikTok who is a therapist. I like his videos tremendously. He does a really good job of talking about personality types within relationships. He talks a lot about narcissist and narcissism, which is, I know, a buzzword that has been thrown about a lot over these past several years, as people do start to learn more about personality types and identity types, and they discover people that are narcissists in their life and really what all that means. So I know, first of all, I speak about and to Black people because that's my community. So I care very much about what's going on amongst Black folks. However, if you think that the white women's is not dealing with this shit, oh, yes, they are. And all women's across every shade are dealing with some variation of this and what that looks like specific to their community. But this clip I want to play you from this Black psychologist, or rather, let me call him a mental health professional, because I really don't know specifically his title. And Will, yeah. So like I told you guys, so on social media, women are posting clips unbeknownst to sometimes some of their partners when these motherfuckers is acting out, right? And I think in part for attention, but maybe in part for validation, right? So this white woman posted this clip of her boyfriend. What you're going to see, so make sure it starts at the beginning, Will, because I don't know why sometimes we get in the first couple seconds clipped off. But like, so at the beginning, you're going to see this white man, or pardon me, you're going to see this white woman pull out her phone, and she's going to start recording her boyfriend, and her boyfriend's going to start feeling and acting like a victim and acting attacked. And the context of this is the woman had a art project, a paper project that she had been working on, and unprovoked, the boyfriend threw water on it, right? And she asked him, why did he do that? And as she begins to take out her phone and record him, he begins to himself act as though he was the victim, act as though she was the provocateur and the aggressor. And the Black therapist here, I believe, does a good job of sort of explaining this behavior and what it means and what to do, what not to do. All this shit is crazy. So anyway, let's check this out.
Any of that? Really? What are you talking about? Here's a perfect example of narcissistic gaslighting happening in real time. When you look at a conflict between a person and a narcissist, you're not clear on who's actually the victim and who's the perpetrator. Watch.
You threw water on me and then you're recording me?
Are you
serious, bro? Dude, you're so psychotic, homie. You do anything for views, do you not? Oh my god, dude. You need to be hospitalized.
That you need to be hospitalized, that's a gaslight. You're convincing another person that they are mentally ill.
Dude,
Now, walking into the situation, you're not clear who's who, but you do see that look in his eye right there, and you get a little duper's delight. He's got almost like he wants to smile, but why he's smiling? Because she's crying. My work here is done. Now let's see the other view. There he is, caught red-handed, caught on camera. Takes a sip of his water, throws the water at his girl. He immediately puts his water down. Notice he put his water down off to the side. Now, why would he be motivated to throw water at her? Notice in the beginning, look at this beautiful paper that she's got finished here. You see that? She's got a beautiful...
Why would...
Look at all that work she put into that paper. That's why he's doing it. Narcissists don't want to see you win. They don't want to see you succeed. And so they do want to get a reaction out of you. They do want to see you melt down. And so that's why he's motivated in this moment sitting here. He's not doing anything with his life. You notice in front of him there is nothing. He has nothing. And he's not accomplishing anything. So he decides while he's sipping on his water, you know what, let me just throw this water on her stuff and hopefully and get a meltdown and get a reaction out of her. So he's got the water down, she pulls out the camera, and he starts his theatrics.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
I didn't do any of that.
Really?
What are you talking about? You threw water on me and then you're recording me? Are you serious, bro? Dude, you're so fucking psychotic, homie. You do anything for views.
And that's what they do. That's how a narcissist will gaslight you. So I'll tell you right now, recording is helpful for your own purposes, for your own reality, like keeping yourself grounded so that you're not believing their gaslit reality, but you need to get away. If you're in a situation like that, do not react. Confronting them is really pointless. You see they put water on your stuff. You should simply look down at your belongings, close your mouth, shake your head at the disgusting behavior, gather your things and get away. That's what you need to do. Take your things and move away from a person who's going to try to sabotage your hard work. They're going to try to sabotage your success. What are you going to do? Remake the paper again while the person's sitting right there? They've already shown what they are. All that confrontation when you're dealing with the narcissist, that's actually what they want. So you're beyond the point of like establishing boundaries. He's doing this because you don't hold to your boundaries. He already knows he can get away with it. So that's why he's going to keep going. He's going to keep doing it. And if you want to know the innermost motivation, it comes down to evil. We think that evil is something out there. We don't think it's sitting across the table from us, lying in bed with us, sharing a house with us. But that's where the evil is. It's nearby us. So recognize narcissistic abuse and remove yourself in all circumstances.
Anybody recognize that behavior? I'm trying to think of any instance in which I have dealt with that myself. I don't think so, not in that way. Do I know people who have dealt with shit like that? I sure do. Sure do. Thank you so much for the support, Franny France. A two F's, two B's in a bucket. Much gratitude to AU. Which AU? You good at BIDWKB. Who is AU, baby? Oh, ALI. To all. Jesus Christ, Franny. You know I can't fucking read out this bitch. Thank you, Franny Fred. Say much gratitude for all you do over at BIDWKB. Franny Frost say, you know I'm hooked on phonics. I'm working on it. Thank you so much. Going out to our new member. Lord, y'all know I'm thank you all so much. Will's gonna read that. Shout out to the BK. Thank you all for your support here. Appreciate your membership. Thank you for that. Will's gonna shout you out properly. I promise. Do you
Me
guys
doing that?
even? Oh
Sorry.
yeah. No. Go ahead.
All right. So the one from BK,
Thank
shout
you.
out to you for
Thank
being a
you.
new member. And definitely Franny Francais, we appreciate you always. Also, before I get off, the doctor we just heard is Roman Zani, ZANONI. Roman Zazani. I'm
Dr.
assuming.
Roman Zazani. Thank you, Will.
Yes, that was it. Yep.
Appreciate that, Will.
Follow, bro.
Definitely go follow bruv on TikTok. He offers, I think, some valuable insights, and again, referencing some of the content that people themselves are posting to help deconstruct from a professional perspective some of the behaviors that a lot of people experience, right? A lot of people do experience that. And I actually find these videos like more helpful than, say, the articles that used to get published in women's magazines back in the 80s or 70s, 80s, 90s, because at the end of the day, seeing what that behavior, seeing examples and models of that behavior is more valuable than trying to figure out something from an art. And I'm not saying that the video is more valuable than the reading. That's not what I'm saying. But I think that the video can convey those that nuanceical, if you will. It can convey the tone, the escalation, the precipitating events, the provocative behavior, like all that can be communicated with real time examples than I think more so on a flattened page. That's why I think these conversations are happening more, because women in particular are seeing these clips online. They're like, hey, wait a second. Whoa. A narcissist gaslighting. That's how my nigga talk to me all the time. is that what they call it? Narcissist gaslighting? Oh shit. I didn't know that's what that was called. And then you go down and you begin learning, or in some cases unlearning, right? But there is a particular TikTok account that has a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers, a lot of views, lots of likes. It's got to be in this point, maybe in the hundreds of thousands or in the millions. And it's this elder Black woman. And she is a single woman at her age. I don't know how old she is. I guesstimate she is in her 60s or maybe early 70s. And she talks frequently about her experiences as a younger woman, being married twice, and the abuse that she endured when she was married as a younger woman. But she's basically kind of giving advice to her younger self. And I think by extension, giving advice to young women younger than she who may find themselves in certain situations. And I always find her insight really valuable, because if anybody's going to tell the truth about a lot of things, it's going to be elder Black women. I hope. I hope, right? Like, there's a reason why Gen X women, for example, are not, and millennials also by extension, are refusing certain behaviors or refusing certain standards, I think, set forth um for our expectations of partners, and outright refusing marriage, outright refusing motherhood. And it's not because, I don't think being married looks cool. Sure. It's not because I don't think being a mom looks cool. I'm sorry. Our pool of reliable partners is not, it's not abundant out here. It's not overflowing. So I'm not going to even. And that's what the elder does. She does a lot of So anyway, I want us to listen to this lady, and I encourage you to follow her. Will's going to tell us what her account name is when we come back. But listen to this woman talk about the fear that she would feel, that she would experience when her first husband, I think this was her first husband she's talking about, would threaten her with violence at the end of the day. Like after he get home from work, he threatening to go upside her head. And the terror that filled her with, just the anticipation of knowing that violence has been announced and declared and it is on the schedule and she should be expecting it sometime that evening, and what that must do to a person day in and day out. But anyway, I'll let her tell it. We'll come back. So let's check that out.
For like 4 years. Look here, y'all. We had a little apartment when my baby was born, when I first left Louise. Look, it was one room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. Y'all, those was like the slapping place for me. That was the worst time of my life, and I was scared to death. Every day, y'all, I was scared with my first husband. It's like when he slapped me the first time, that put fear in me, and it didn't seem to ever go away. I lived in torment, y'all. Every time I looked, it was time to get beat down or slapped or something. But look at here, one day, y'all, he was telling me, he said, when I come back from work, I'm going to beat you up, And I used to be scared, y'all. I would sit there all day scared to death, trying to take care of my little baby, living in fear. You talking about being tormented? This was right after Mommy died. I already was fighting with Daddy for I don't know how many years. Now I look like I got to fight with this man too. But one thing I can say is I'm the only child out of my mother 8 kids that went through that. None of my sisters ever went through a husband beating them up. My brothers didn't beat up their wives. But look here, y'all. One day, I had had to go take the baby to the clinic. When I came back, my girlfriend was in the place there sitting on the bed. So I said to her, I said, how you get in here? She said, I came through the window. Let me tell y'all, I wasn't mad. I was glad because it was so good to be around somebody, because when people was around, he didn't act like that. I was glad the girl then broke in and sat down on the bed, y'all. She's sitting in there watching TV. I was so happy because when his friends and stuff was around, y'all, he never acted up, and they never knew that he was abusing me. But let me tell y'all, it was bad. I was living in fear of him coming home from work, beat me down. Mommy just died, and Daddy and them went somewhere else. So like I was mourning Mommy, and he didn't even, show no remorse because Mommy had gone. But I'm gonna tell y'all, living in fear is torment. I feel sorry for anybody who lives in fear every day. And let me tell y'all this, I didn't stay with him for long, even though he threatened my life. Y'all know the story, and told me to marry him. He was gonna kill me if I didn't marry him and all that. I'm not gonna go through that whole story again. But living in fear, y'all, it is so not good. He becomes like the puppeteer, and all of a sudden everything, after you're getting beat down and scared to death and living in torment, is real bad. And he becomes something that you look forward to, but you don't look forward to getting beat up, and you hope you don't get beat up. And so it's like he controls, 100% control. Every day when he went to work, I was so glad when he left, and scared to death, y'all, all day waiting for him to come home. It was terrible. I feel sorry, y'all, for anybody that's living like that now. Living in torment every day, all day, fighting and getting beat down. And then as I got older, y'all, it changed when I got away from him. And then when I see him, I would get angry. But he seemed to be, after that, he seemed to be not feeling me, because I guess he figured I was going to, retaliate. I never wanted to retaliate, but I was so mad at him, y'all. I was so mad at myself, wondering why did I let him do that to me. But I was like, what 19, 20 years old, 21. You know, when you think about that, hindsight is always 2020, y'all. It's bad. Fear ain't no joke. And I feel sorry for people who live in fear every day. I'll talk to y'all later on the next video.
40, 50 years of experience. And she's talking and thinking about her younger self and choices that she made. And then in some instances, choices that were made for her, right? Simply because somebody recognizes that they're in an abusive situation does not always mean that they are in a position of strength, of financial security, of secured housing, to move or to leave the abuser. Like, a lot of things have to be in place in order sometimes for people to leave situations. And let me be clear here, and let me acknowledge my privilege in this. Like, I try to be more sensitive and aware when I'm talking, don't take that shit, some first time they put his hands, leave. Da, da, da. Yeah, I can say that as a single childless, never been married woman. I don't have no attachments, no threads, no deep cords, that are either impossible or very difficult to sever. So let me acknowledge that as single, unmarried, and child free, it leaves you a little bit more movement, maybe, if you find yourself in an abusive situation. So thinking about people that are legally bound or have family ties, have children, have property, have fucking shared bills, like all kinds of shit. There's a lot of reasons why people don't leave. But for younger folks, especially women, I know y'all be dismissing the shit out of old people. Okay. I know y'all think the old people don't know, but no, old Black people for sure. You need to be listening to them because you're looking at survivors, period, point blank. Man, woman, gender non-conforming. You're looking at survivors. Okay. And when the elder Black ladies is talking to us and even talking to her younger self, she is talking to us in addition to herself. So anyway, I find these clips, I find this genre on TikTok in particular, just very illuminating. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I mean, just like any corner of the internet, of social media, if you're looking for some confirmation bias, you're going to find it there too. But this advice, or the ability for and I mean real relationship experts. Okay, I'm not talking about the manosphere, or even the bitches advocating for $200 dates. I'm not talking about them relationship experts. I'm talking about actual learned doctors. Motherfuckers that's got that 3,000 hour clinical experience, that have talked to dozens and hundreds of people and have a lot of that professional and educational experience under their belt. I appreciate being able to hear from them directly, because honestly, to bringing this back to myself, that's the kind of professional help I've never been able to seek out or get. Right, like every time I've tried to go get some therapy, that shit don't work. And when I say it don't work, I don't mean therapy don't work. I mean I never even get into a fucking therapist. Like, that shit don't work. You call and trying to make an appointment, that shit don't work. You try to call another one, that shit don't work. And I'm very particular. Like, I'm not talking to white folks. I'm so sorry. No disrespect to our white mental health professionals. I'm sorry. I can't control for cultural competency, and I'm not willing to venture. I'm not willing to take a risk. I'm not willing to feel. I'm sorry. You can call it whatever you want. I need to be speaking to somebody of my either shared race and or shared gender, preferably both, because I will not. I won't be the one fucking educating on misogynoir to anybody. You know what I'm saying? You already got to come with that knowledge of a base level understanding about what Black women specifically experience. Because no, the question, the answer is no, and no again. Well, what's the elders? What's her name?
I don't
That's
know
okay.
how to say it, but I put it in the chat already.
Oh,
It's like
beautiful.
C Tay wrote, like, yeah, it's some other stuff.
Thank you.
So yeah, I put it in the chat.
Thank you, Will. Can you go ahead and drop the StreamYard link in the chat too? I was really surprised that so many, and granted, we spoke to I think 4 people this morning. Shout out to Zizibel, shout out to Musa. Um, oh, what just happened here? So I was like, oh, people have thoughts. Like people want to say something about this. So I appreciate that. If anybody wants to get on and say the thing, you can do that. What is this? Andre? Thank you so much. Andre T. Appreciate your Cash App support. Thank you so much for that, Andre. So let me do that. If you have some, if you want to say something about this, you can come on here and say something about it. And again, I encourage all to go check out the Remix Morning Show from this morning because our one of our channel members, shout out to Musa, one of the Fire Fam, Musa talked about they experienced a DV incident firsthand at where they live, where a sister was calling out for help outside. Musa went outside and saw that the boyfriend had her hemmed up, like hands on her. Musa physically intervened to get the dude up off the sister, and the dude put a gun on Musa. Like that's real shit. Like as much as I listen, let me tell you something. I was moved by some of the commentary by our bruvs. I can't remember, was this on the Rational Radical or Bro Diallo show where the fallacy of male protectionism was discussed? So if you notice, I don't even say that shit no more. I don't even be like, how come brothers don't be intervening? I listen, because other brothers is dangerous out here. Musa took their life into their hands, and I can't believe that they did that. I'm appreciative that they did that, and simultaneously freaked out that they did that. Like that was so dangerous to do. But it's like, what do you do? Like nothing is not the answer. Something is a start, but it has to be addressed earlier, sooner. In I guess more structural ways. But I think there's not enough acknowledgement of the problem or the prevalence of the problem. These other sisters I follow on the joint, they be talking heavy about the femicide. And listen, a case can be made, everybody. You look at the numbers of domestic violence murders. I told y'all in 1 year, I knew 2 dudes who killed their wives. 2. And as in I know. So when I say I know, that don't mean that I was at their birthday party. That means I have been acquainted with them in my lifetime at some point. That doesn't mean that I had their number in my phone. You know what I'm saying? So when I say somebody I know, right? Again, not even referencing the fucking abuse that I have referenced, that I have personally endured, but to think that 2 dudes that I know or have known in my life murdered their wives in 1 fucking year, like that shit still fucks me up. You would not have been able to tell me that either one of them dudes would have been capable of that at the point in time in my life in which I knew them. But again, it just goes to show, sort of like the sister said, the elder said in that clip, her abusive man didn't act up when his friends was around. So the friends had no idea that she was being beat on in the way that she was. So how is there a way around that? If people don't disclose the abuse, how can you help them? Do they want help? What are the signs? Zizzy Bell, you know you fucked my head up this morning, and I don't even think you was addressing me. But even if you was, I want you to know I took that shit to heart. I heard you. What is my role in this? Is this even for me screaming from my corner of the world? Is this shit even fucking helpful? Is this moving the ball down the field at all? Like I don't know, but I don't know. So what the fuck just happened here? So anyway, did you drop the link, Will? And y'all might say, "Can we ain't talking
Yeah,
with
we
you about
got
this shit?"
Abby, I think.
You said what?
You could, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, what? Oh, somebody's on here?
Yeah, Abby. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Who?
Hold on one second. My dad.
Hey, Kim, it's Abby.
Ah! Oh shit. Abby has made an appearance.
Yeah,
she has come above ground. Oh wait,
yeah.
let me see.
Let me know if we need to add narcissism, narcissistic abuse, and domestic abuse to the itinerary for support group.
Listen, I Abby, I'm gonna let the fire fam tell us whether or not we need to. So I'm a hush, and I'm gonna I'm gonna give you the mic because I know you got a lot to say, guys. Let me just say this. This is Learn Life Abby. Okay. Learn life, like these women's, shout out to the women's and Anna and Mama Lorraine. Like y'all have helped me learn so much. And we don't even talk about this shit, Abby. You know what I'm saying? Just the shit we talk about in the disability support chat. Abby know what the fuck she talk about out here. So I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let Abby go ahead, Abby.
Well, like when we get into the subject of abuse, I think there's a lot to be said for conditioning. A lot of, not necessarily the woman you showed, but a lot of us out here are recovering from abusive ass parents. And so it makes you vulnerable to those abusive romantic partnerships. It makes you vulnerable to those abusive relationships. And I think when you're a victim of it for a long time, there's this tendency to blame yourself first. But as you educate yourself and you realize like this wasn't even a choice that I actually had. Like this was something that happened to me and I had to try to survive within it. And then when you're in it, it's really hard to see the forest for the trees. You know, it's hard to say like this is an abusive relationship when you're in an abusive relationship. And a lot of times what they teach in like domestic abuse centers and like recovery is sometimes the last thing you should do to try and convince somebody to leave is to say to leave. You know what I mean? Because they're in it. You know, they may be in survival mode. They may not have the ability to understand like, oh, this is really bad for me. It's just like, I just have to survive from day to day to day. And I think that's the part where people don't understand, like the math that someone in an abusive relationship is doing is not the same math that a normal person is doing because you're surviving something. And also Khadijah did a really good video on the men versus bear thing. She like did a deep dive into the TikTok, like who would you rather be stuck in the forest with, a man or a bear? And I think it's just so telling about our society. Like it's so telling because the men get victimized in this too. Like patriarchy is killing men too. Absolutely. But they're not really allowed to say they're hurting, you know? And so there's these multiple dynamics where we're all victims, and it's like, how abused are you? Just where do I fall on the scale of abuse? If you're Black, you've been abused, I promise you. If you're a woman, you've been abused, I promise. Somebody has said some shit that is fucked up, and you had to like pick it apart and deal with it, or you internalized it and maybe you deal with it later in life. But not all of us are so lucky. And so like this idea of abuse and recovering from it, it really lets the abuser off the hook. You know, a lot of people will say like, oh, this abuser went through something, that's why they're like this. We should humanize the abuser and all this other shit. And it's kind of like, yeah, we're all human, but like in a recovery sense, who's first in line? You know, it gets really messy, but in the essence of recovery, it's like I have to worry about me first, because it's like the airplane oxygen mask thing. I have to put my own oxygen mask on first before I can help somebody else. And a lot of us are just trying to survive this messed up economic, social, you know, system. It's just a fucked up system, and we're just trying to survive it. So like sometimes we need to check our expectations of what we think people are capable of. And we can definitely talk more about this at a later date.
I think we should. Let me ask you quickly, because I know you're busy, but what role, if any, does accountability play in any of it? Hold on. And again, I don't even know what accountability looks like. Like, I'm not. It's to some people, I suppose, it's the criminal justice system. For others, maybe it's some sort of public reckoning, maybe like what we're seeing with going on with Diddy and others. But I mean, if you are a survivor, do you seek accountability from those that abuse you, or is that a fruitless effort, or is it more important to heal thyself or to find healing rather than to seek out apologies, which may never be forthcoming, or accountability in some fashion that may never happen? Like, is it valuable to try to seek out accountability or no?
I think it depends. I think just like in America, we don't see SA victims come forward to police because they will then be further victimized. Like, it just depends. It depends on if you have power. It depends on if you have resources. It depends on if you can hire a lawyer sometimes. It really depends. And unfortunately, more often than not, you will bring hell down upon you seeking accountability.
Phew. Well, thanks for that pep talk, Abby. That was great. No, I'm just kidding.
So sometimes it's like you can burn all your energy trying to get accountability, and the reality is you're not going to get it. It just really depends. It really depends.
That was deep. I told y'all Abby was about to come on here and hit us in the head, which is lovely. But I mean, you hit us in the head in the most beautiful of ways, trying to not, well, maybe that's not the right analogy given the topic of discussion. So let me shut up. But what Abby was talking about, guys, our disability support chat, we do Around the Fire disability support chat every second Saturday of the month. So the next one will be coming up. What is
Okay.
Saturday? So this Saturday is June 1st. So next Saturday, I guess June the 8th. Right. Nobody knows. It's the second Saturday. And Abby, Mama Lorraine, and Anna facilitate additional support chats and caregivers chats throughout the month. So please go follow BIDWKB on our Discord server that the our Fire Fam very lovingly maintains and shares information, of which I'm deeply appreciative. So, Abby, maybe we can have this conversation at the support chat as well.
Yeah, happy to do it. My main rule is don't be a jerk. That's it. Happy to see y'all there.
You can't be more of a jerk than us, right? Like, first of all, I own my jerkage, right? I'm jerk level 11 out here on occasion. So you can't, you have to be less of a jerk than the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but ain't nobody really been a jerk in support group, and if they have, they've been asked to leave. So it is what it is,
Well, I appreciate you guys really defending the space, and protecting the space, and centering the space for Black women and Black people specifically. So I value that so much from you, Abby, Mama Lorraine, and Anna, for 2 years. So thank you, and thank you for calling in, Abby. Jesus, I didn't even know you knew that.
I caught the live today. I was like, hey, I got something to say on the narcissism topic. We could cover this in full at a later date, but I do have a lot to say about it because I have abusive parents, and it took me a while to get my shit together because I had this bad example set. So, you're not alone out there, y'all.
Whew. Woo! Thank you, Abby. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Much
You guys,
love. Thanks, Jim.
thank you, baby. And Abby brings up points about the abuse that I know I omit and I overlook, and maybe it's because maybe I don't want to look at what I have dealt with. I have dealt with an abandonment and a neglect, an emotional neglect from one of my parents. My mother did not abandon nor neglect me, but she might have overcompensated for the abandonment and neglect. So anyway, I forget, because I don't consider myself abused, even though I know abandonment and neglect is absolutely emotional abuse. And I know what I shared this morning on the Remix Morning Show, and that was the one time my father did put hands on me, so he made sure to make that shit count. So I don't view myself as a child that was physically abused, but I know I was emotionally neglected. So anyway, I keep forgetting that that's abuse, right? Just because I wasn't whooped every day, I wouldn't whoop for getting bad grades, I wouldn't whoop for X, Y, and Z. It don't have to be hands-on abuse. Abuse takes many different forms. So I sometimes, oftentimes, I overlook the role of parental abuse on children and what that does to impact those kids as they become adults, and the whys that come behind either being in an abusive situation or yourself perpetuating an abusive situation. So there's that. Is there anybody else, Will?
Yeah, Bamita. Hold on, let me add him.
Is there anybody else?
Uh-oh. That sound like a baby. Hey, you guys,
Can y'all? Okay, my name. Hello, hey guys. Hey Kim.
Hey,
my name is Bami Tale.
Bami Tale, how are you? Is that a baby behind?
I'm fine. How are you?
Is that the radical baby?
My name is Bami Tale. Yes, that's the baby. I can't hear on you on my phone for some reason, so I can't hear what you're saying to me. But yes, this is the baby in here going to sleep.
Radical baby. Thank you, Bami Tale. Come on in here, sis. What you want to tell us? The baby.
I wanted to talk because the video you showed reminds me of my relationship with her dad. So like we used to hang out, usually we would be drinking, and I didn't really notice those behaviors because I'd be drunk, I really didn't care. And I was like, okay, whatever. But when I got pregnant, I was sober, and he would come over still drunk and doing things, the same thing. And like his reaction to like, I'm like, oh, he's like, how's the pregnancy? I'm like, oh, my back is killing me. He's like, well, yeah, my back hurt too. I'm like, first of all, I don't want to hear about your back hurting when I've got 18 pounds of baby sitting in front of me. Like, what do you mean your back hurts? But every time that he would text me to ask, like, hey, how are you doing? Or see, like, I'm just checking on you. And I always turn it into him. And I'm like, well, what's the real reason? What's the purpose of these text messages? If we're only going to focus on you, you don't really care about what I got going on.
She said,
I remember one time when I was pregnant with her, and I hadn't seen him. I think I was like 6 months pregnant. My first time seeing him since the day I got pregnant, basically. And he was trying to get in my pants. I was like, no, sir. Like this is not what's going to be going on. And he got so upset and was like, how can you say that you're too good for me? I'm like, I haven't seen you in like 7 months, and you just gonna come trying to get in my pants. Like I told you I was pregnant, and you supposedly moved across the country. So that's just my story with it. And I from that time, like, I'm just gonna keep to myself, focus on my baby. I also have a 10-year-old son, so it's like just focus on my children, focus on my career, because entertaining these men is not the move.
It is tough. Can you hear me? Oh my God, I love to hear that baby. Listen to that child. That really brings a smile to my face. Ooh, that's a very soothing sound, to believe it or not. Listen, I don't hear babies that often.
Thank you.
That's a baby. First of all, Bamatelli, thank you so much for calling up here and sharing that. I wonder, like, what do you think your child's father, what do you think his long range plans are for being involved in your daughter's life? Has he expressed any interest, or does he do for your child?
He says he wants to be here. Now he's met her once, like 2-3 weeks ago. But ever since then, I haven't seen him again. At this point, I don't believe anything he says until it happens. I was literally surprised to see him at the place he came to until I walked to the parking lot and saw him actually still standing in front of the car. I was in total disbelief. Didn't think he was going to show up at all. And I haven't seen him since. So everything he says now, I don't put too much energy towards it. I'm just like, okay. And that's all he gets from me is like, okay. He's like, that's all you're going to say? And I probably don't respond, or I don't even look at the text message for 3-4 days, because I'm done putting my energy towards him just because he's doing things to get a reaction from me. And when I realized that, I stopped putting my energy towards it.
I want you to come to the chat next Saturday because Abby said she's facilitate this around narcissists. Oh my god, that baby. That just made me smile. This to this kid. So I think it, Abby, I think we're getting our marching orders. Come to the chat. And I want us to I want you to have a space to share what you're dealing with and what you anticipate dealing with, going forward. I'm telling you, this little girl, your daughter
We will
is
both
telling
come. You
us,
said it's next Saturday.
yeah, it's gonna be next Saturday. But I'm gonna tell you, your daughter is telling us to stop talking bad about her daddy on the internet. I'm telling that she's like, nah, y'all not gonna be talking about my daddy like out here like this. Oh my goodness. Listen, thank you for sharing that. And listen, I think, I'm putting myself in your daughter's place. You know what I'm saying? What do you do as a mother? What decisions did my mother have to do to protect me from the emotional and physical abandonment from my dad? And these are things that you gotta think about. Like, is it valuable to have him there
That's true.
or protected with him not there if he's not going to be consistent and show up for her in the way that she deserves to be shown up for? Baby, oh my gosh.
That was a decision I struggled with a lot. It was like, I want her to know him, but I don't want her to, him to be in and out. Like that's not good. You're like, look, if you're not going to be here, just not be here. But if you're going to be here, you have to actually be here and not, if you're going to come and we're waiting, we don't hear from you for 3-4 days when you say you were coming to get her. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to put her through that either. So
I want us. We want to get into all this because I'm sure I don't know if you're following the shit on social media, but like the topic of manosphere for the past couple of weeks have been the role of single mothers and the single mothers, and so. Oh my god, the baby is killing me, but she's killing me in a good way because I'm just not used to hearing the sounds of a little kid. So it's very pleasant. I'm digging it. I'm gonna let you and that radical baby go because she gonna fight us for talking about her daddy on the internet. So I don't want no smoke from the radical baby. So I'm gonna start talking about her daddy online. But come to the thing. Be looking on the community section, and I'm gonna post.
All right, we'll see ya.
Thank you, baby. Thank you, Mama Tally. Listen to the baby.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later. Bye.
Thank you. Take it easy, baby. Oh my gosh, did y'all hear that, baby? I think my ovaries coughed up a little dust. My ovaries went. Heard that baby. My ovaries said, "Wait a second, wasn't we supposed to do?" No, I said, "No, that's not."
Yeah, you should definitely get that therapy. That's just
up, nigga.
put that on the manifesto.
Nigga.
Get this lady some help.
Why? Because my ovaries coughing up dust. Will, shut up, man. Shut up.
No, because you character. Yeah. Anyway, Don Hammonds is been patiently waiting. And
patiently waiting to blow, literally and figuratively.
Oh no, yeah, he lit. Hold on, we about to add.
I know he lit. Come through, nephew. You know what I'm
saying? What's good, Auntie Kim? What is good? What is the deal?
How are you, nephew?
Hi, is giraffe pussy?
What?
Hi, is giraffe pussy?
Oh shit. What movie was that from? High as Giraffe Pussy. Where is that?
I don't know. I got that from my mama.
Oh shit. Yes, because you got a proper Gen X mama, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. My mama, my mama about to be 70.
Oh, she boomer. No. Yeah, your mama's boomer. Okay. Yeah. Well, hey. What I tell you about these boomers, like listen, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, alpha. You think you can fuck with these boomers on anything? You're mistaken. On all the things. Okay.
My mama will snipe you on accident. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Auntie Kim, first off, I want to say big up big up to the other two guests that was on here before me, right? The African mother that got on here and shared her
I'm
struggles and stuff
telling,
like
yes.
that.
And
And
Abby.
did you see my comments on that father stuff? I was like, girl, we need a father, not an outdoor cat.
To come around every few a father, yes. But Don, it's the single mothers, says the manosphere. The single mothers. How can these single mothers and the single mothers and the single mothers? You can't raise
Girl,
these boys, can't raise these men
wait a
out here,
minute.
single mothers.
Let me tell you what else they be saying, because girl, I literally just reposted this on Instagram, but it was a young African man on there talking about some where the girlfriends that cook out here. I was like, nigga, so let me explain. Well, no, let me explain something to you, nigga. What you got to do is you have to bring them to the home that you have purchased and show them the mortgage with your name on it to activate these powers. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Let's follow. Let's be logical here.
I mean, but see, Don, see, and then to me that gets into another crevice of the conversation. I suppose about the availability of dateable folks, and I feel very bad listening to millennials and Gen Zs having these awful conversations because I heard them conversations 10 and 15 years ago when it was my generation unable to, to find partnership and but what I appreciate again, Don, I appreciate the younger women. I love to see these 30 to 40, 25 to 40 somethings come to these epiphanies, come to these realizations. Some of them come to it, after having the negative experience and maybe the negative experiences plural, or some of them are peeping game early and being like, nope, mm-mm. can't,
Right.
can't do it, beloved. I cannot.
Hmm.
Um,
No, no, ma'am, no ham, no turkey, stuff like that. None of that. We don't jive like that. Hey, Auntie, I really did want to get in on you because I'm literally, as we speak, I'm on FaceTime with my best friend, and he and I kind of came to a contradiction regarding the Diddy situation because I was trying to explain to him how our community is seemingly like circumnavigated abuse in order to arrive at homophobia and misogynoir. And Abby actually like made a huge point when she was talking about the cis hetero patriarchy. By the way, I'm gonna take this time to plug the book Refusing Compulsory Sexuality, a Black Asexual Lens on Our Sex Obsessed Culture by Dr. Sharonda J. Brown. And literally there's a chapter called Unfit, Auntie Kim, that literally perfectly goes on to what you was just talking about. But to go back to what Abby was saying, and how the cis hetero patriarchy objectively harms all involved, all who are subjugated to it, I feel that it is such a crime on humanity that our capacities by the cis hetero patriarchy have been so limited to the point that we can not only ignore homophobia, right? We use it as a crutch, and how we're able to, like I said, circumnavigate abuse to arrive at homophobia. And my best friend, particularly, he's having problems understanding how in fact, Diddy's crimes have been relegated to simply homophobia. He was like, oh, we're not mad that he possibly has sex with other men. We're just mad that, you projected a, excuse me,
mm,
different lifestyle,
I got you.
right? Which I'm trying to explain to him is homophobia. And let me tell you something, and I say this with love to my best friend. Like, I desire the confidence that which motherfuckers that don't read regularly go forward. It would be powerful in my hands. Me myself, like, my best friend is best friends, right, with somebody who's queer, who's pos, and somebody that engages both of those spaces politically, right, and yet can somehow, circumnavigate my explanations and be like, no, Google says this is what homophobia is. So unless that's directly what I can see, then I can't call it that. And just what is your interpretation of that? What's your opinion on that? And like, how can we, is there a way forward from the contradiction that is minimalizing, as it's uniquely expressed in Diddy's case, right? Minimalizing or limiting this to simply homophobia? Uhuru.
Oh, who rule, baby? I appreciate the question, Dawn, because I have thought about this, though not as eloquently as you, but I have taken issue with the homophobia talk about, or Diddy allegedly assaulted, this male and this male and this male, or these males engaged willingly. But see, that's where I come back to, because I'm like, I don't know that everybody was willing. You know what I mean? Like but at the same time, I don't want to diminish in any way anyone's identity and whether or not they choose to be out with their sexuality. And in looking again as a layperson who doesn't know all the context and you know to what level extent was not extent consent what was given or not given in some of these alleged scenarios, that matters to me. And we have to also put into what coercion means in some of these sexual exploitation scenarios, right? Like someone may or may not be gay, but if coerced, they could be made to do certain things that if it were up to them, if it were their choice, if someone wasn't dangling something in front of them, they may not go that way. I really have difficulty with this, Don, and I appreciate the question because again, I've tried to turn it over in my head and I need more dirt.
Well,
I don't have enough
no,
dirt
I
on my
think
brain.
Abby did it for us. That's the thing. I think Abby did it for us, right? When she brought up the cis hetero patriarchy and its objective harm to us all, she also talked about men being not being able to express themselves and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? Like ultimately, when we have these spaces where we're saying things like, oh, we're not mad at what you do, we're mad at that you presented something else. It's giving very much I love you but not what you do, which isn't love, right? And I think it is my personal thought that by simply relegating Diddy's crimes to homophobia, by simply circumnavigating the sex trafficking and the, like, oh my god, egregious display, right, of abuse. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck did y'all get to know Diddy?
Hmm.
I literally don't understand conceptually how we got all the that other evidence and arrived simply at no Diddy, right? Are y'all all indicting yourselves in sex trafficking or like practices? Or are we all just so deathly afraid of possibly existing outside of the cis hetero patriarchy?
I think people are trying to bring themselves around to expanding how they view especially black male sexuality outside of only the heteronormative, the cis heteronormative, and to understand that there are gay black men or bisexual black men that look like niggas on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? Like that wear basketball shorts and fucking Jordans and shit. And like I think people are really trying to broaden what it is to be black and LGBTQ and what that looks like. And when they think about that, it doesn't look like Meat Mill to them, or it doesn't look like, and again, I'm not trying to, whatever.
No, 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 no. Points is being made.
So and I agree with you. Just reducing it down to the homophobia just really glosses over the worst of the worst of which Diddy is accused of. But I want to allow for cisgender gay men to be themselves. Like if it does look like a rapper or someone that has been locked up, like I want there to be space for that. But it doesn't seem as though the community is, but it's kind of like that tongue-in-cheek shit, like you said, like, way, hey, man, do what you do. I want everybody to be happy, but no Diddy. And that's still erasing it in some way. That's still diminishing in some way. It's not welcoming it. It's not opening to it in the way, in a proper way, in a righteous way.
Yes, it's not community, Auntie. Straight up, it's not community. It is simply a telegraphing, right, of the unfortunate societal arrangements which we are subjected to, and fear of being outside of that, because it's the opposite of community, right? And it's so insidious, it's like, and furthermore, Auntie, like, did this nigga just start the hip hop Me Too?
Listen, Dawn, when I saw the suit against DJ Academics, I said, "Oh, here we go."
This, I believe, if you was gonna let me write an article for the Burning Spear, which I do regularly, check out the Burning Spear. Everybody on Burning Down, Cam Brown. If I was to write an article for the Spear, I would honestly declare we've kicked off. The gun has. We are starting the race for the hip hop Me Too. Right, and eventually I'm foreseeing a connection to all that sorry, BS. You know what I'm saying?
If it does nothing else, let it try to dismantle and destroy our pedestaling of celebrity and our navel gazing of celebrity in general, right?
Talk, Auntie. Yes.
Like we can't be lionizing and hashtag goalsing niggas that are awful. Okay. Like, and the people that enable that and the people that support that. And I'm telling you, Dawn, I am here for the hip hop Me Too. Like, when niggas like Joe Buttons was trying to, it's like, nigga, what? Like, how are you having anything to say about Diddy? You know what I'm saying?
Double speak. Double speak.
Let us go check on Esther and Tahiri, and let us check on with them and see what they have to say about you chiming in on this. But to the sister Ricky Ryan's point, like, again, I'm guilty of this because I do this. I keep coming back. Like, I don't keep trying to make it about the celebrity, right? Because it's not about the celebrity. This is a broader community problem, societal problem. This is not just black men beating on black women. No, the white mandem is wrecking white women too. The Asian
Yes.
mandem is wrecking Asian women too. The Latinos men is wrecking Latinas out here. Like, this is a global issue. And I don't think it's been addressed, confronted head on in the way that we're seeing now. So I want that to continue.
I do believe that the ideas that Sister Comrade Abby brought, and also Dr. Sharonda J. Brown in her work refusing compulsory sexuality. I do believe that we have a praxis, we have ways forward. I do at least want to believe that. Is that, can we pound the gavel there?
Yes, we can, Dawn. I so appreciate you leaving that on an uplifting thing, because I believe that too. Like, yes, when you say we have a praxis forward, I believe that. I think there is a truly a light at the end of the tunnel. It may take a couple hundred years, but hey, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. I think this can be done. I think we can get a hold of the shit, honestly, and overturn the other systems that are holding us down as well. But I think it's important that we try to get a hold of what's happening intracommunally, and that's across communities, by the way. That's for everybody.
You got, I got smoke with you, all that.
Right.
Uhuru, Auntie Kim, and I wanted to remind everybody, Tampa, Florida, September 3rd, free speech really and truly is in jeopardy for us all. Chairman needs everybody. Chairman Penny Hess and Jesse Neville, we need your support. Right, we are here for y'all. The African liberation struggle is under attack. Uhuru.
Uhuru, Dawn. Thank you so much, nephew. I appreciate that. Dawn, listen to that. Oh my gosh. Listen, I love listening to the younger folks because you niggas are sharp. y'all be on the shit. And I'm like, yes, drag your Gen X auntie along. Yes, I'm here for the ride, insurance. Take me with you to freedom. Shit. Well, is that everybody? We got anybody else?
No, that's everybody.
Take me on the freedom train. Will, you want to ride this train real quick? You want to hop on here?
Sure.
Throw your headphones on, beloved, or turn them cans down. I hear me echoing over there.
Oh, my bad. Hold on.
You got them joints loud, blaring. Trust me, I used to get feedback all the time on the radio. Why? Because I got my earphones turned up to 99. Shockingly, I can still hear, which is amazingly now to see. No, I don't see that, but I can hear like a motherfucker though. Yeah, I'm like a bat. What's up, Will?
Better.
Oh, there go Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore behind you.
Chill.
What's up, Baltimore? What's that?
Yo, that just happened every time that I'm on live. That ain't even no type of shit that be going on out here.
Nigga, no one believes you though. I don't believe nigga, Baltimore is dangerous.
The crime done went down, except for in this area. The crime done went down in Federal Hill or whatever else. No.
Shit. Oh man. Oh my God, they was robbing people left and right. They was robbing white people left and right down there at Federal Hill. Jesus.
Yeah, that's fine. You know.
I know a blind couple that got robbed at Federal Hill. Well, I said, you niggas is really ain't shit out here.
They ain't seeing heaven. They ain't seeing heaven with that one.
Hey, now you ain't shit. Now look at you.
No.
Will.
Yes.
Apologize. I wasn't nice.
What I do? They ain't shit. What I do? They ain't seen it. Oh, damn. See, it was love. All right, it's time to go. Because I that one went over my head. I was like, wait. Oh, shit.
I said, I know this nigga's not cracking low vision jokes to me, nigga. This nigga, y'all, this nigga just
that's
ran.
a radar. My bad.
This nigga just ran a
my mic. Go ahead. Have a great night.
This nigga just ran a fucking black folks joke on my channel, y'all. You see the shit I got to deal with. You see why I be bombing on these men all the goddamn time? Because these niggas do not know how to act.
That you didn't need a reason. That's
you're right. I didn't need a reason.
You breathing is enough of this.
Hey. Wilbert, because I value your opinion as a man, you are one of the upstanding bruvs that I do be referring to. You know what I'm saying? You take care of your kids out here. You check on your baby mothers, and I appreciate.
Please.
We don't have no kids.
I definitely gotta go now because it sounds like my mother too. Like, hold on.
That's why I be fucking with her. Like, we'll check on. We'll take care of all his kids, right? We don't have no kids, y'all.
Children. I don't even want to claim my work children that I be claiming. I be like, I'm good on you today, son.
Oh wow. Let me just get your thoughts again, because I know it came across, maybe the show came across as a little disjointed and scattered and all over the place. It's because like I said, today I was today years old when I realized, despite living through and dealing with, etc., I do not know what the fuck I'm talking about at the end of the day. Like, I'm not an expert. I don't have the terms. I don't have the terminology. It is not just enough to live through some shit. You got to, if you're going to be talking about it, you need to be ready to fucking talk about the shit. But given some of the shit that we played, the videos that we played today, Will, I mean, thoughts. I hate that shit on social media. Thoughts, question mark.
Thoughts.
Thoughts.
Well, change your life in 3, 2, no. No, I mean it's one of those things that, like, of course your firsthand experience is important. I wouldn't dismiss that, but also, like you said, people that have that clinical knowledge, they can give certain clarity to it that we don't get. And it's like they bridge the gap between, like, all right, I know this is a thing, but what is it, in what context is this being used in? So again, even on the topic, it happens. I was literally about to have the uncomfortable conversation with my guy friend group chat and see if they respond. Like, sometimes I'll be on some shit. I'll be like, I just throw out certain videos or certain thing, like, yo, what y'all think about this? And sometimes I get, a lot of conversations. Sometimes I don't, it might just get a like, but the conversation.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, the conversation needs to be had. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to,
Hold on.
disclose
Well,
what they be on, but
well, you don't
yeah.
have to. Well, we don't have to disclose, names and locations and shit. Can you get? I just generally like. I'm curious. What is the kind of shit that a brother would pull up another brother on? Like, what is it that you want to talk to your friend about?
The way it's not even like my friends, it's just my friend group chat, like of more or less like, what do you guys think about this conversation? In particular, the men context of like, again, relationships and how, and I kind of because they have different engagements. Everybody got their own friend situations, and even me, I got my own. There's a couple guys that I'll be like, okay, these guys deal with a whole lot of guys, so they, when they say something, it resonates. And it just, I mean, honestly, it varies, but it is very, like it needs to be had because there's so many conversations about just random bullshit.
Why don't you want to tell me?
What
is it? There's something specific that you said. You said I gotta pull up one of these dudes in my chat about X.
Oh no, I didn't pull it. I didn't say I was pulling up anybody. I was just saying I was like the conversation that we're having. I'm about to share with them the FD signifier video and then be like, all right, what y'all think about it?
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm misunderstood.
Yeah. Come on, I ain't trying to pull up. Yeah, and of course, if they needed to pull it up, I would do it. You know what? Like,
in what instance have you had to pull up one of your friends, a friend, or a relative, or male relative? Have you ever had to pull somebody up like, hey?
Nah, because again, not in front of me. Because again, like it's one of those things. Like they don't do that type. From my experience, people don't. I'll say like this. I've had instances. I work with children, and the young girls and the guys, like you always got to kind of be like hanging around and be like, all right, y'all playing? Is this real? Like, can y'all get off each other? It doesn't look good. Like, relax, kind of, when it's always the older kids. So I've definitely had to step in and say something about that.
In terms of what? Are they getting like physical, or are they just like wrestling, or they fight? Because I know
they just wrestling. Sometimes it'd be flirtatious wrestling. Sometimes it'd be playing, wrestling. But it happens.
Yeah, especially when the kids are, physically more evenly yoked, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, like you used to get in there and rough and tumble with the boys. Y'all was the same fucking size. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Now when you not in middle school, like that should stop actually, like in 4th, 3rd grade. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
well, elementary school, yes, but middle school, no, that's a different,
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is middle school. This is
I was getting my bra snapped regularly by the middle school years. Oh, fun times, guys. Anyway. Shout out to all the girls that started wearing bras early and used to get their bra snapped. Just to give you an example of some of how the harassment of girls starts early. It's like, goddamn, I just got these titties. Can I live in peace? Can me and my new titties please live in peace? Please.
Anybody getting that close to you is crazy. Like, it's like you, first of all, you just too close. Then close enough to pull my undergarments.
Snap that bra. They would pull that back of that bra strap and snap you right in your back. I just got these titties. Just got these motherfuckers.
Yeah, we got to put the therapy on the chat for the chat. We got to put therapy for Kim.
Listen, hey, but you got to make it group therapy, beloveds, because I know. Listen, that's why I'm saying, Will, when the bruvs, not the bruvs, let me be clear, when brothers, period, across the board, say that they don't know no, I just why I'm sorry. I just don't believe you. You need more people. Even when you say it, I don't believe you either. So, but that's okay because that's all right. Y'all gonna work it out. Brothers going to work it out. I hope y'all. I'm planting seeds here that y'all will think and remember and be honest.
No, I'm just saying. I know abuse. It's like that's not a question. Do we know abusers? And we like, I'm childhood people. It's like, oh, the person we used to hang out all the time, we used to beat on his wife, it's like shit like that. So
that's the lightning and the thunder. Jesus telling me to log off, Will.
All right. Yeah.
I'm going to listen to I'm going to follow and obey the Lord in everything I do.
Peace, y'all.
Thank you guys so much for participating in the conversation. Hold on, let me hop in the chat real quick and just say goodnight to the folks. Do me a favor, like the video on your way out the door. I want to thank everyone that has been watching Burn It Down with Kim Brown, not only since the beginnings, but lately. I don't know what the fuck. I got to shout out to Molly. Well, let me shout out to me, Will, and Molly, because Molly is out here cutting up these shorts, getting us a bunch of views and shit. And I'm like, yeah, Molly doing it. But I'm like, hey, Kim, but Molly is doing based off what you doing. so it's a team effort. And I'm doing based off what the fuck Will is doing. So this is all hands on deck. Team effort here, y'all. We are up, I want to say like 1,500 subscribers this year, which is redonkulous. So let's keep it going. Let's not slow it up. Subscribe to the channel, share the content. Thank you to everyone that supports and continues to support. Don Hammond, Holly Horn, 2 F's in the fucking building. Silberg, what's going on with you, man? Shout out to Northern Witch Diddy. Look at all my whites. Come through. Where my whiteys at? Where my whiteys is at? That would be so terrible. I take all that back. That's wrong. But I do like seeing my whites in the joint, though. and yes, since we reversing all the things, y'all are my whites, not the other way around. What's up, Sun Kitten? Thank you so much. Shout out to all our folks. What's up to the ladies? Babatele, thank you so much for calling it. Abby, Don Hammond, appreciate you guys. Follow the channel, you guys. We have the disability support chat every second Saturday of every month. So it will not be this Saturday. It will be next Saturday, kids. Also, don't forget to join me tomorrow. What's up, Lisa Jones? Come on in here. Thank you so much. Miss, what does it say? Miss Wright? Listen, who are these folks? Thank you guys. And again, that's not an accusation. When I say who are these people, is that we have such a regular crowd in here. When I see new names, I'm like, are y'all friend or foe? We cool? Is everybody cool? Because sometimes people come in here to troll, which I encourage, by the way. I don't have anything because my mods don't be bullshitting. So if niggas can come in here and troll all they want, but shout out to the new folks. Thank you all so much for acting on the notifications and all that. Appreciate you so much. Join me tomorrow on Twitch sometime between 5 and 7 p.m. Eastern. Unfortunately, I can't commit specifically to a time, but I'm committed to the day. Wednesdays is Kim's Twitch turn up at BIDWKB on Twitch. Y'all keep adding them numbers every week. We get more people tuning in and showing up. So I'm undecided between, am I going to do another samples playlist or am I going to enlighten y'all on 80s hair bands, which is a genre, shockingly, that I know a lot about. So y'all going to hear the best of what, Aquanet had to offer us from 1980 and whatever to fucking 1990 and whatever. So anyway, it'll be a surprise. Kim Switch turn up tomorrow. Go follow me on Twitch. Set your notifications and your bells so when we go live, you can be in the jam. Thanks to everyone that tuned in and turned up. Give the video a like on your way out the door. We will see y'all tomorrow morning for the Remix Morning Show, Women's Wednesdays on BPM period. Thank you so much to Will and Molly, and thank you all to the Fire Fam. Love you guys to pieces. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Deuces.